an entire cinema movie recorded using the Sony FX3. But the big bomb is still to come, and I will tell you in just 1 second. Yes, guys, the new movie by Gareth Edwards as DOP Craig Fraser, the creator, has been entirely shot on the FX3, the camera that is shooting me in this moment. It's in front of me, actually. And if you see the trailer, that I leave you, of course, in the description of this video, you get goosebumps. If you are an FX3 owner or even a 7S3 owner, you will totally be boom, like your mind will blow, because this movie rocks. Apart from the photography that I like, okay, well, it's just a trailer and it's on YouTube, so I cannot appreciate the whole thing, but it rocks. It's really well made. I leave you down there also the description, in the description, the Craig Fraser intervention in the cinematography podcast, where he talked about the FX3, and I leave it to you at the exact minutes that he's talking about this thing. He talks about the ISOs, the practicity. You need less lights, of course. We're talking about the only camera, as far as I know, at least at this price range, that has a distance between the two base ISO, 4 stops. 4 stops means, 1/4 of the light. It's difficult to understand at the beginning. It's like 1000 divided 2 divided 2 divided 2, so it's not 1/4, it's less. It's kind of starting using a bit of intelligence when you shoot things. We are not cinematographers. Most of my followers, I don't think they are super pro, because I am not a super pro, so why following me? But if we try to use this data in our small jobs, if we try to think in this way, for sure it will be great. And these two interventions and also the keynote by Gareth Edwards that I leave you in the description are for sure enlightening for whoever works in the creative world, and 100% important to know. Where is the big drop here? Nobody talked about it. I mean, I saw also other articles. There was one YouTuber talking about also this in another YouTube video in English. But in the IMDb database, it's just written, okay, they used the FX3, boom, but in what was the main format used? Let's call it in digital, of course, the type of media, let's call it. They talk about Sony RAW 4.2K. Do you know what is Sony RAW 4.2K? No, I don't, honestly. I know that this camera can shoot ProRes RAW through a Ninja, but ProRes RAW is a different thing, is different copyright, different patents, different everything. You cannot cheat on an IMDb database. Okay, it's like saying the director is this, or the first camera was this guy, instead is another guy. So you cannot do that. It's a really serious thing. So it must exist a pre-launch version, a beta version of a Sony Video RAW format that could be included in following firmware updates of this camera, or maybe in a new version of the FX3. We don't know. For sure they use the FX3, so there must be something. And there is a second reason why I don't think they used the ProRes RAW, is because very rarely a movie like this is done using Final Cut Pro. I don't think they used Final Cut or other softwares. It's, at least for my knowledge, they should use something like DaVinci. And the way you import ProRes RAW in DaVinci using Cinema DNG and all the linear importing, etc., is a nightmare. So I really don't think they use this way. So guys, from today, about myself, I would pray every night Sony and all the saints that I know that they would give the RAW like Canon did on the C70. After 2 years, after almost 2 years, Sony will give us the RAW on this camera. This will be groundbreaking. This will be crazy. So guys, let's start the hype. Write down on the comment what you think about this, and let's start asking Sony and pray everybody. If all of us believe in this, it will happen. So guys, let's create our future. See you in the next video. Love you.